Hi everyone, it's Lisa Smith, Kindred Stitcher. Today is October 27th and this is Flosstube 22. I gotta get myself together. My craft room was a disaster this morning after having been traveling quite a bit, come back from retreat, and I just started dumping things in there. I'm sure there might be a couple of you that relate to that, but so I thought, oh gosh, I gotta get a video made. I have a lot that's happened and I just want to show you some of the things I've been working on. Some gifts that came from the retreat and some plans that I have. So I'm just going to mention a few things about the retreat. We had several people have talked about it on their Flosstube videos already. But the camaraderie and stitchy love that was truly felt at the retreat. And Michelle Rudy is a master of bringing people together. She did a fantastic job. This was a bigger retreat than the one I attended in April. And although I couldn't sit at every table, I felt like I met a lot of people. Flosstube makers, Flosstube watchers, stitchers, all very kind people. I got to sit with Julie from Gulf Coast Stitches was sitting at the table behind me. She and Kelly Stodola. Some other folks were sitting at that table, and Robbie, Julie's friend Robbie. So I enjoyed getting to know them a little bit better. I sat at my table. There was Cheryl Wayside Stitcher and Jen Felicity Stitches, and so you can imagine how much fun that was sitting with them. Colette Stitcher was at the table. She's on Instagram as Colette Stitcher. And Lori Textilis, my buddy from Olympia, she and I traveled to the retreat together. And Michelle Rudy was at our table as well. But it was just an assortment of fun and wonderful people. We laughed and, you know, just hugged and chatted and looked at each other's projects, you know, and looked at the finished project table, or even just partly finished. There was a great donations in the freebie table, and we had a raffle. It was so much fun. I loved it. So if you get a chance to go to a retreat, I would say go if you can. I'll also talk a little bit about what I worked on when I was at the retreat. Actually, let me just show you. I bought this on Stash Unload, and I had not seen this before, but it's stitching up beautifully, and I really, really love it. This is called Abigail Colby's Work Basket by Primitive Traditions. And I looked them up on the internet because I was looking for this basket, and I couldn't find the basket, but it's really pretty. It's autumnal colors, and it's a Quaker, so who doesn't love a Quaker? There's also an accessory pack that you can stitch. So I'm stitching this on Maritime White. Oops, Lakeside Linens Maritime White 40 count, of course. I hope that you can see this okay. The colors, because the colors are just gorgeous. They're Belle Soie. This one is called Fawn. This one is Espresso. This one is Baguette, and this beauty here is Cinnamon Sticks. And boy, I'm telling you, look at that. And it just stitches so beautifully. So that's what I worked on the majority of the retreat. And I took 5 billion projects and stitched on one. I started a new start. But you know, we got to look at each other's work and, you know, imagine and plan and ooh and on. It was a lot of fun. I'm going to go through haul in a minute, but I just wanted to talk about that first. When I was at the retreat, I went to Stitchville twice. I went, and I just thank God it's in Minnesota and not here, because I feel like I have a mini Stitchville in my craft room, and I just don't need to be tempted by it. So before the retreat, I worked on some finishes, and I will insert a picture of the smalls for the small exchange in a minute. But when I was doing some finishing in my craft room, I had stitched this from Lila's Studio earlier this year, and decided to make it into a pillow. And it's sort of a larger pillow with 2 ruffles. this lace here was pretty, it was stark white. So I just dipped it in coffee, and it's a poly, so it didn't dye heavily, which is exactly what I wanted. I wanted something that was just not going to be white. I wanted it to be just a little bit off white. And so that's what I ended up with. It was a little bit challenging putting the lace on here and getting it so that it was even and not wonky. So it's not perfect, but it's pretty. The back is a velveteen by Dames of the Needle, I believe. So there's that. I also have been working on the Blackbird Designs. I think this says Merry Christmas, Joyeux Noel. And I don't even know if I said that right. But I'm stitching this on a Swigart Silvery Moon fabric, which is a very light gray / blue color. And this is where I am. I think the last time I was up, I just had maybe this top part done. So I'm working down the side. It's a little bit bigger than my Q-snap that I'm working on. So I wanted to do part of it, so when I put the Q-snap on, I can just stitch the rest of it. And here are the threads, and they're so lovely. The blues are, these are mostly, there's a couple of crescent color works. There are mostly Gentle Arts and Week Style Works. This is pomegranate, and it's really pretty. This one is deep blue. This is shamrock. Shamrock's really pretty. So I'm hoping to get that done. I'd like to finish it and have it up for Christmas. That's my goal. We will see if that happens. Okay. Now, when I went to, before I went to the retreat, I went to a stitching store in Corvallis, Oregon, called Starlight Stitchery, and I met the gals there. I think it's Pam and Amanda, if I get that correct. They're very nice. My mom and sister and I went down there and saw the shop. The transformation is underway. The lady who had it for years. There was a lot of stock in there. And if you're looking for certain patterns that are out of print, you might go give them a call. I picked up Autumn Queen, and it's one that I would say that this is not necessarily my very favorite one, but I didn't have it and it went out of print because that's what happens with mirrors. I picked up Pumpkin Patch. This is not a new one, but the Prairie Schoolers oftentimes they have a lot of the cardstock Prairie Schoolers. Cats, Bats, and Witches. That one is cardstock. This one I love. Fat Bat Cat. Now, isn't that just, he's hilarious. He looks like the Hamburglar if he was a cat. I got this. Okay, so this is the Bent Creek photo booth, and I know that Pam stitched the one with Uncle Sam and the eagle, and they had that one there. This is a kit, but just look at the owl and the cat. Oh my gosh, you guys, and look at those shenanigans. And that's just a kit. I picked up this Shepherd's Bush, and I am thinking about just starting that pronto. I picked up this. I have not seen this. This is Plum Street Old Woolery Shop. Would be a cute pinky. I got Knock Knock from Prairie Schooler and Halloween Sampler. This one was out of print, then was back in print. And you couldn't find it. As soon as it went out of print, I don't know, everybody bought every copy in the universe, and so Cottage Garden Samplings decided to reprint it. I'm all over the place today, you guys. I have a huge pile, so I may go through a few of these. I might go back and forth between plans and things that have happened. I did pick this up off of, I think maybe eBay. Brenda Keyes is one of my faves, and I love history. I just went to a leadership workshop, and they talked about Gettysburg, and it was all a leadership lessons through what happened at Gettysburg, so it was very inspired. And then this, you go from this to I picked up Soda Stitch from Trisha, 3 Out Threads. She had it on her Facebook group. And I would say that I'm not 100% a Sew Stitch stitcher, but this, I was immediately drawn to this. And any of these could be like, this could be a little pin keep or an ornament. This could be, wouldn't this be cute if this was a tree full of these ornaments from these little, like that one and that one and that one. Wouldn't that be adorable? Huh. I might just talk myself into that. All right, so moving along, here's a few things from the retreat. There is a stitcher, Jessica, who went to an estate sale, and the woman who passed was a stitcher, and she had a ton of shepherd's bush designs, and shepherd's bush and just Nan, and a variety of others. But Jessica had picked up some of the patterns for herself and then asked them what they were going to do with the rest. And they said, well, if it doesn't sell, we're just going to take it to Goodwill. And she said, well, whatever doesn't sell, could you just let me know? I'd be willing to take it to this cross-stitch retreat. And you guys, there were tons of kits, shepherd's bush kits. So I went through, and people kept adding things to the freebie table. I just went at the beginning. I looked once, and I didn't go back because my goal was to leave more than I came home with. And I failed. I'm telling you, I failed. But this is what I picked up off the freebie table. This is Shepherd's Bush, the Goblins. And the Goblins will get you if you don't watch out. Now look at him. You know, the Shepherd's Bush is usually like little roly-poly gardeners and Santas and angels. Not normally goblins, but this is so cute. Then I picked up a Bunny's Fill, which is Bunny's Fill. Oh, it looks like a little Easter design. And these came with the silks and the fabric too. So I mean, holy cow. Here is Easter Parade, and this one is little eggs. One thing about Shepherd's Bush is it's really, the pictures are hard. Sometimes they're taken at a distance where you just can't see the detail, and there's always a lot of detail on Shepherd's Bush work. This one is Quaker Heart, and I believe you can get these still from Shepherd's Bush. And then the last one is Cranberry Pinafore. And look at her, isn't she? Oh, she's so sweet. And then there's some white work up here. I don't know. It looks like there might be some pulled thread work as well. But this too, silks, thread, silks fabric, little color palette looks like. All right. So many things, you guys. When I was at the retreat, I saw my pal, Holly, my pals Holly and Anita. They were there. Now, sorry, I'm dropping stuff off of my counter here. We were online on Instagram and had bought some cubbies that were on sale at Michael's, and they were like, I don't know, maybe 16 cubbies. So a bunch of people went out and bought them, and we had a little swap called a Cubby Club swap. And Holly was my pal, my Cubby Club exchange partner. I stitched for another stitcher, and she stitched for me. But she stitched Blackbird designs, and you guys, next year I'm stitching all Blackbird designs and maybe Brenda Gervais, and that should keep me busy the whole year. But I love this. Isn't this sweet? And she has 3 little buttons on the back and this cute pom-pom type trim that's just beautiful. I loved it. And she put it in a beautiful sort of iron basket lined with this vintage like dresser cover, and it's a linen, so you could stitch on it if you wanted to. It's just so precious. Very delicate and beautiful. And then she included a needle minder, a little needle minder. think this was in there. Little turning tool. And then I have been in need of white buttons. There's a little container of white buttons, and these are vintage. We poured them out and we were looking through them. Michelle, Rudy, and I were figuring out if these old, are they new, and there's a nice assortment in there. And then there might have been this. Maybe. Notice I didn't, we weren't drinking it, I was hiding it. And I have several needle miners that I got on that trip, and I lost track of which one they came with which package. So there was this one. I think it might have been with Holly, but I'm not 100% sure. All right, let me take a little sip here. So much stuff, you guys. And my squeaky chair. I'm just going to go through I have my ironing board as my assistant right now, and I have piles of stuff. So I'm just going to show you things that I picked up or I got at the retreat. This needle miter. Isn't that adorable? I think that might have come from Jen at Jen's Stitching Niche. I can't remember. Ooh, I can't remember. I'm so sorry. This came from Stitchville. Throw away that receipt. A couple of colors, the endive that I can never seem to find because it's so popular, and copper. We were in line and someone had this, and so 3 of us went and bought that color. Turkey Bay by Plum Street. I didn't have that one. And look at those turkeys floating in the water. I think Kathleen was stitching this one. A couple people were stitching it. This one, I probably have it at my house, but I couldn't remember. And I don't have the cross stitch app, so who knows. This was in the half price bin at Stitchville, and it says, this is a Midsummer Night Designs with the silken thread so fine. This is how I spend my time. Needle poised, fabric taut. Stitching samplers deftly wrought. Now, notice this is half price. Well, when I picked it up, it said $8 and was marked off and said $8. So I went up to the gal at the front, I think it was Deb, and I said, is this correct? And she said, oh no, they must have had a tough day. So she marked it to $4, so $4. And then last time I was at Stitchville, I got this box. Oh, I think I got it from Michelle. Michelle really ordered it, but I didn't have the pattern, so I picked up the pattern. Oh, Tannenbaum with Thy Needle and Thread. And I also picked up, I want to say this might have been in the half price bin as well. I can't remember though. Shakespeare's Peddler, Ragamuffin 1. And Teresa, she's got such an eye for color. And I just love all the stuff that she creates and reproduces. Let's see, what else did I get? This was, I think, in my goodie bag at the retreat, Midwest Cross Stitch Retreat. And we got some stuff from, in the goodie bag, there were several people represented. I'll show you some of that when I get to it. So this, I think I just bought online, November Prairie Schooler. I think I got that off at eBay. Picked up, this was gifted to me from Holly as well, this beautiful pattern, and I don't have all of these. I'm sure I'll pick them up eventually, but that is just so vintage. It's beautiful. I squealed when I saw her gift to me, let me tell you. I got some fabric at Stitchville. This one is Arctic, and it's pretty true. It's blues and greens, and it's a lot of pretty movement in it. Gosh, you guys. Lakeside Vintage Lentil. This one has sort of a greenish cast to it. It's like a tan and green. And then 45 count Vintage Pearl Barley. Oh, I got something on that. This is my favorite. Lakeside Linen's Vintage Pearl Barley is my favorite. Not everybody loves it, but I would stitch everything on it if I could. And then 46 count vintage light exemplar. All right, hang with me. I bought this from Jen's Stitching Niche. Anne Grant, Shakespeare's Peddler. Teresa showed this on a recent video. The original she had framed, and it is gorgeous. Gorgy. And then I picked up from Jen this heartstring samplery. My home is built in glory. Look at that, the little sweet little border on that. I hadn't seen that before, and Jen accidentally sent me two, so I'm gonna give a second. I talked to her about that, and we decided to go ahead and just give that away to a subscriber. So at the end, I'll give you instructions on what to do to win your very own copy of this heartstring samplery. All right, I picked up, I think this was online, I can't remember where, Crumpets and Tea by Brenda Gervais. And I'm going to show you the stuff I ordered Brenda Gervais' new Christmas stuff because when we were at the Midwest Cross Stitch Retreat, there were posts going up from the Shepherd's Bush Retreat, which is at the same time, and I was dying at the patterns that were released. They were from Paulette, and I saw Paulette, I saw Brenda Gervais, and I want to say maybe Chessie and Me, and they were hands down exactly my style. I was dying. I was like, oh, I can't wait to get that. And then Brenda Gervais showed her new winter Christmas releases on Instagram, and so I ordered them because, you know, that's how I roll. I picked up this Quaker alphabet, La-Di-Da, and these are off a Stash Unload, I think. Prairie Schooler Design Series. These are sweet little kind of Valentine-y ones. Oh, then I went to Annie B's. I watched her video and went to her Etsy store. She has, I think her Flosstube name is just Annie B's, but I love her style. And this is a brand new release for her. Autumn is a second spring, but look at that. I mean, a house with birds and Lori, Mischievous Stitches. This looks like you too. And then I picked this up from Stitchville. They have a nice program where if you spend so much, you get a discount, which is good for me. I also, so the first day of Stitchville, I saw this Victorian, the Victorian sampler, and I don't have this one, but what I really loved this house, and what I really loved was this colorway on the back. And so on day 2, look at that roof, you guys. Oh, I love it. On day 2, I went back and I was picking out the specialty threads. And there were a lot. And so I was with Kay Dunlap, and Kay goes, why don't you just get the accessory pack? Which, you know, the accessory packs are kind of expensive, but at the same time, it's exactly what you need, right? And it was going to be much less to buy the accessory pack than all the specialty threads. So I did that. I picked this up online. This is one I have not seen before. Goodwill to All Primitive Traditions. I think I really like that brand. Primitive Traditions. It says love to one friendship to many, goodwill to all. Cute. Then here's the stash flash from Brenda Gervais. Candy cane wishes. I'm telling you. Come on. She's killing me. Plum pudding. All bundled up. Hilarious. Basket full of wintertime. Are you dying? Look at that. I can't stitch this fast enough. Probably going to be starting one of these today. And this one, Winter in Baltimore. Oh, so I saw the fall in Baltimore in our Smalls exchange. Michelle Rudy did the autumn one, and it was beautiful. She did a nice job finishing it. In our gift bag from the retreat, had all kinds of goodies in it. This is Twisted Threads. Kind of fun. I really like that bunny, although he has a crazy eye. I do like him. I do like this little house down here too. And there's other designs in the back. That little fall one is super cute. So that was in the bag. Teresa Vanette went ahead and kitted for us and made us her own design. This is Pale Pumpkin's pincushion stand and scissor fob. So the stand, this is a candle holder, and I didn't buy this one. It wasn't available at my Hobby Lobby. I bought one that was smaller in stature, but still will look fine. This was really pretty when you saw it in person too. I really like that. And there was a Raise the Roof design, Words to Live By. There was a Twin Peaks Primitives Halloween truck. Loo-Hoo Stitches, little fall fling. Isn't that cute? Super cute. And just, I mean, guys, it's crazy. Faraway Designs, pretty needle minder. Teresa's, what do they call these needle minders? It's a needle minder of the Teresa's design. Jen Stitching It. She had limited editions. Hey Chicky limited edition threads. And a cute little Chicky needle minder. All right, we're getting to the end here. Sorry, I'm coming in close. So Kay Dunlap, a friend of mine from the who was at the retreat, she also had some quilting things that she let us choose from. So I got some. It's just nice to have some neutrals. Tula Pink quilt book. Oh my gosh, you guys. Laundry, is this Laundry Basket? Oh, quilt designs by Lori Smith. Oh, look at that. Holy cannoli. And then this one I think I've seen before. This is really cute. It's all fussy cut applique. All right, so I'm almost done. I'm almost done. A couple things that are Stitchy Kindness. One is my girl, Stitchy Wish 42, Audrey, did her own dyeing. And she gifted me some thread. This is called named Witch's Brew, and it's a pretty kind of a grayish purple color. Nice job, Audrey. I'm impressed by the variegation. It's really beautiful. And then at the retreat, we did a Smalls exchange, and I did a Brenda Gervais little squirrel on a stool, and I'll insert a picture here. I don't remember who got that. I can't remember who received that. But I received, I'm going to show you from Chrissy Etzel. And, you know, it's hard when you're going to a retreat, and if you haven't finished things, to have confidence and feel like what you're making is somebody's going to want. And I want to say this. So Chrissy did a great job. And I'm honored to have Chrissy's first FFO. She used this adorable copper little kettle, I guess. I don't know, pail, I guess. And look at that. Is that not adorable? and I will add it proudly to my smalls. I'm really very grateful to have her first, and she also gifted some counting pins, and I don't have any crises. So if you watch this video, I thank you very much for your beautiful artwork, and I was proud to get that. Let's see. Okay, I'm almost there, y'all. So today was stash heavy, I know. Kay, who I mentioned at the retreat, she gifted us cookie cutters with little, it's like a little kit. It's got thread and perforated paper, and there's designs with leaves that you could attach on the inside. Very clever. Such a smart lady. And my friend Lori Textilis had some leftover thread trim that she dyed, and so she gave me this. It's a lot. And then the last thing I have is I bought some wools. I bought some wools, and I bought some additional wools that I've never stitched with wool before. I bought this from a quilt store in Washington. I'll try and do it this way. And I bought some more when I was at Stitchville, because I'm going to attempt to stitch, well, I'm going to attempt to design and stitch something. So, and this fabric is the inspiration to go with it. So stay tuned. We'll see. Just messing around, trying different things. All right, so my goal is to make these videos more like a half an hour, and that's where I am. An hour and a half is too long. So the giveaway this time is a heartstring samplery. My home is built in glory. I will also give you a generous cut of this beautiful trim that my friend Lori dyed. So if you would like this giveaway, please do not say giveaway or gift away or anything that would tell someone who's scanning YouTube videos for giveaways that they could get something that you potentially could get. And please say if you think about the season we're going into, you know, we're going to have Halloween, and that'll be fun, but then there will be a month of just celebrating like harvest and hopefully family times. Tell me what your favorite autumn memory is. Yes, tell me what your favorite autumn memory is, and I will draw the winner at the next video. I would say that, fingers crossed, my videos aren't going to take, I'll try and hit a month, but it might be sooner or later depending on what's going on. Wow. So thank you for letting me ramble, and thanks for hanging with me through all this stash. I have a lot of plans. I'm going to try and get that Christmas Blackbird designs done and framed this year. I have another project I want to frame. I'm getting into the finishing mode. I'm working on some stockings. Yes, I have piping done, and I'm working on finishing those, and trying to kind of get some things done and finished. Just hope you all have the best day, and I will catch you next time. Thanks.